Hi, 5th graders. Today's topics are rounding numbers, multiplying fractions, proportions, and percents. So let's get started. We're gonna start off with rounding numbers, and rounding numbers is you need to remember this rule, like I told you, like a few weeks prior, that if it's greater than or equal to 5, then you round up. However, if it's less than 5, then you round down, which means that like you leave it the same. And that's like the rule that you have to remember when you're doing rounding. So let's do number 2 and number 6 together. Number 2 gave us 615,571. And the problem shows us that the first 5 was underlined, and that is the number that we have to round to. So in order to round this 5, we have to look at the number behind it or to the right of it, which in this case is 5. And 5 is equal to 5, so we need to look at the top rule, which says that if it's greater than or equal to 5, then you round up. So if we round 5 up, then we get 6. So we get 616, right? And then these numbers become zeros. So it's going to be 616,000. And that's your answer. Now let's do number 6. Number 6 gave us 8,067. Oops. 8,067. And the 0 was underlined. And so we have to look at the number that was right next to it or behind it, which is 6. And 6 is greater than 5, so we're going to round the 0 up by 1. And so we're going to get 8,100. And these two numbers become zeros after we round this underlined number. So when you're rounding, just remember to use these two rules up here. Now let's do multiplying fractions. Multiplying fractions is fairly easy because it's not anything like adding fractions. You don't need to change anything. You just do 3 over 4 times 6 over 9, and we just multiply across. So 6 times 3 is 18, and 4 times 9 is 36. However, one thing that you must do is simplify. So we know that 6 can go both into 18 and 36, so we're going to get a 3 on top and a 6 on the bottom. But once again, 3 can go into 6, and so it's going to become 1 on top and 2 on the bottom. So you can leave it as 18 over 36, because that's what 3/4 times 6 over 9 is, but you have to simplify it, and for most cases, so you should leave it as 1/2, because simplifying is a major point in dealing with fractions. So it's better to simplify. So yeah, 1/2 is a better answer than 18 over 36. Now we're gonna do proportions. We're gonna solve for the x. So number 4 gave us 1/4 equals 5 over x. Now there's 2 ways to solve this. You can either do the butterfly method, and that's what we're gonna do. Yeah, we're just gonna do the butterfly method. I'm sorry. So we're gonna do the butterfly method. And when we do the butterfly method, it's gonna be 1 times x. X equals 4 times 5. And we know that 1 times anything just gives us that number. So in this case, it's just gonna give us x. And 4 times 5 is 20. So there you go, x equals 20. Now let's do number 10. Number 10 give us 2/3 equals x over 24. And what we're going to do is the butterfly method once again. And we just do this. It tries to look like a butterfly. Okay, now we do 3 times x equals 2 times 24. And we know that 3 times x is just 3x. And 2 times 24 is going to be 48. And we want x to be by itself, so we're going to divide both sides by 3. And when we divide, we should get 16. So x equals 16 for number 10. And let's check our answers just in case. Number 10 and number 4, sorry. Yep. So for proportions, you just need to solve for the x's. Now let's do percent. So the one thing about percents is that when you're dealing with fractions, the denominator must always be 100. And that's the easiest way to do it. But you can also just divide, but it's easier to just make all the denominator 100 if possible. So let's do number 5. Number 5 give us 4 over 10, and we want to make it into 100, right? And we know that 10 times 10 equals 100, so we're going to multiply the bottom by 10, and if we multiply the bottom by 10, then we also have to multiply the top by 10, so we're going to do that, and we get 10 times 4, and we get 40. So now it's 40 over 100. And 40 over 100 is the same thing as 0.40, because the 40 takes place of the hundredths place for the decimals, and when it's in decimal form, we just move it to the right twice. So we go 1, 2, and that's where the decimal is going to be, and 4 over 10 as a percent is going to be 40%. So once again, you have to multiply, we have to make the denominator 100, and then once it's over 100, it's going to be in the hundredths place for the decimal, and once it's in the decimal place, we move it to the right, we move the decimal point to the right twice to get our percent. And for number 9, it gave us 65 over 100. And already this is over 100, so we're just going to make it into its decimal form, which would be 0.65, because it's in the hundredths place, and we're going to move this decimal point to the right twice. So 1, 2, move the decimal point right there, and the percentage will be 65%. And once again, this is like the longer but easier way, and the shorter but kind of like complex way would be just dividing the numerator by the denominator to get the percent or decimal. And then you just once again move the decimal point to the right twice to get your percent. And that's all I have for you guys today. I hope this video helped you guys a bit.